Well, so it is a T for Trump, but, it also stands for tolerance. It stands to think about, the situation we're in.
T for Trump, T for tolerance, all about what was coming in on that music track. Money, 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 money. The whole election, it's about your vote, it's about your money. And it's driving people so crazy that they're going out in the neighborhoods of rural, suburban Staten Island, and dousing a expression of political thought, a T for Trump painted like the American flag, with gasoline, and lighting it on fire, endangering homeowners, scaring the hell out of most of the people in the neighborhood, the heck at least. And with us right now is a guy I've known for years. He's a legend. There are very few formidable conservative artists out there. And to me, on the top of the pile for years and years now, on the top of the mountain as a conservative artist and a patriot, and a guy who puts his literal blood and guts into expressing patriotism from the right side. Scotty LoBaido, known as Scott the Patriotic Artist, is with us today. He's the creator of this 12-foot tee. And Scott, we can go on and on about all your patriotism over the years and all the things you've done. I talked about it earlier in the open, but thanks for giving me, John Tabacco, filling in today for John Gambling, the exclusive interview with you. And just tell us, what in God's name is going on?
John, how are you, man? Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on. Obviously a big fan of conservative, patriotic radio shows like this one. I don't know what to say, John. I created this tea, this patriotic tea, because I was disgusted in watching the violence, the physical violence towards people who are wearing Trump shirts, Trump hats, Trump signs, getting rocks thrown through their windows, getting physically the crap beat out of them. Look, I've been a political activist, a pro-American activist for 20-some-odd years. I got a lot of friends we disagree with politically. I mean, serious, extreme liberals that are my good friends. But you know what? We can still go out and swill whiskey. But I have never seen the ugliness happen in this cycle of the election. And, I think it's because there's a lot of, election newbies, I'd like to say, because of Trump and Bernie Sanders, who brought in the excitement into this race, getting us out of the stale crap that's been going nowhere.
Let me break this down for a minute, because I'm hearing some things that I've never heard from you. First, when I said what's going on, you kind of were flabbergasted, like Scott LoBaido is even speechless for a minute on the utter disgustingness of this, and that's rare, because I know you're always ready to defend the other side.
John, did I expect maybe some eggs, maybe somebody spit at it, maybe somebody... But when I found out this bleep, whoever it is, poured accelerant and burnt this giant tea down that is 5 feet away from my buddy's home where his wife and kids sleep. That's where I got wow. And then on top of it, I know you. I know the things you've done over the course of my life knowing you have been over the top. Because it's really hard to get attention to political artistry. And you've spared no goriness in the future, in the past. But it seems to me like rather than make a 12-foot Trump sign, you even decided, let me tone it down in a different way so they don't say it's over the top and just do a T. So you might have even curtailed your usual largesse, and still it's on fire. Listen, I'm not getting soft. I'm just getting smart.
Exactly what I'm saying. Even you realized the political climate is so hot that maybe let's not put a Trump sign on Sam's lawn. Let's just give him a big T and see if they even complain about that. But not only do they not complain, hey, you want to go? Like I said in my open, Scott, if this was in an inner city and it was a Hillary sign, the ferry would sink with all the opportunists trying to run over to Staten Island and start a rally in front of the house, that it was civil rights violation, that it was attempted murder, and the PD. I love the NYPD, but they're taking their orders from de Blasio, at least on the PR front. Investigated as an arson.
John, art is to provoke. I've always been a provocateur with my artwork, trying to get attention to the American cause, and I did a lot of cool things, crazy things, but I never hurt anybody. I never put anybody in danger. I threw some horse manure at a museum that was using taxpayers' money to bash Christianity on a regular basis. I've been arrested a few times, but
no.
Using art to, but
yeah. Listen.
When putting somebody's life in danger, look, people have destroyed my work with political messages in the past. It's what it is. I get it. I'm there. I'm out there. I'm in public. My work is huge. It's a good target to put a political statement on it. But this just went over the line. And my number one thing is, again, with the T. With the T, I have it on shirts. I have it on hats, so people can walk around in a certain neighborhood
with a T and not get sneered at in the least. I get it. I get it. You know what, Scotty? I feel like T's for Trump, T's for tolerance. It's a statement both ways. It's fair enough. And you know what? A good friend of mine who's a Staten Island lawyer, and Republican, but not a conservative zealot Republican, a good rational guy, said, the left is so wild now that you can say stuff to them and they can't take it, but they think it's their God-given right at this point to be able to say and do anything they want to Trump because he's an outsider. He's not in the elite political class, and anyone that supports him, they're fools and dolts, and the liberal media keeps saying that, Trump leads mostly with uneducated, uncollege graduate white males. So they're trying to say, dumb white guys are the only ones who are going for Trump, and that's not true. Play me that cut. Play me that, Scott. Listen to this. When I was at the Hilton for the Trump rally, where I saw, can't even tell you how many Democrats were in the room for the Trump rally. I know them. I saw them with my own two eyes. Okay, this is what happened in Staten Island.
No place like Staten Island, let's face it. Right?
We're number one in the country in highest percentage of Republican votes in the primaries, Richmond County. There's so much love out there. Why would some people want to bring hate to Sam's house?
It's the hypocritical double standard that I have been fighting in the arts for 25 years. I am an outsider. This is the organizations, these extreme left organizations that preach tolerance and open-minded, thoughts. Be open-minded, be tolerant, except when it comes to a pro-American conservative thinking artist or anybody, any individual. I deal with it. I'm fine with it. I don't go screaming and suing them. I know firsthand that these big art clubs hate my guts because I am outside the isms of their elite agenda. Yeah, but I am fine with it. It makes me stronger. It makes me a better artist.
Right, and Scotty, to provoke is to exchange thought, just by provoking someone. So you're doing what an artist is supposed to do.
Right, but I am not accepted or respected in the art world.
I understand, and I think you're worldwide respected, in my view, and probably most of my audience, if they know you, and if they don't know you, give them your website and your Twitter handle so they can get to know you a little better. Because Scott LoBaido is the man. He's traveled this country, met every person in every heartland, and painted flags and expressed patriotism, all on his own dime, and some donors who help him get around the country and people who support his patriotism. But Scotty, give him some of your data, brother.
Just ScottLoBaido.com is my website, and all that other Twitter stuff. Just my name, Scott LoBaido, this and that, whatever. But I just recommend people Googling my name and go to images. I mean, to really see. I just came back from Dallas. I just drove there and came back on my own dime, and I painted this beautiful thin blue line mural for the Dallas Police 5. I mean, they all came. It was just such an emotional thing that this crazy New Yorker would come there and give them this, this gift from New York. And, and I drive. I mean, it was hot, but I love the blood and sweat, like you said. And I come back to find this out. So I'm building a bigger one all night tonight. and it's going to be going up tomorrow at 3 o'clock. It's going to be huge.
Are you going to be? It's going to be huge. You're going to make the Trump sign great again, I'm sure. And little by little, we're making Staten Island great again, Scotty, especially if Trump wins and carries Staten Island, because the last time I think Obama actually beat him. But I'm like you. Just before we go, Scotty, real quick, last week on the show I talked about purple people, that no one is really all red or 100% binary, all blue. Those people are the fringes, and most of America is somewhere in the middle, some shade of purple. Are you a purple person?
No, I'm a red person, but
You're
I can
a red.
be purple and I can be blue. But when it comes to this subject, this moment in our history, I am deep. I am as red as you can be.
Scotty,
As red as a tomato in our grandfather's garden.
red on the issue, somewhat purple in other areas. Scotty LoBaido, always a pleasure. Thank you very much. Coming up after this break, the political hitman himself, the insider, Roger Stone, is here to talk to us about, give us a little preview about what's happening, what Trump's going to be talking about today. Right here on AM 970. John Tabacco filling in for John Gambling. Call us at 877-970-2999, 877-970-2999. Back after this with the Stone Zone.